Just got done with a 15-minute delivery delivering a couch. It's probably only about 2 miles at the most, maybe 3 miles. And it was easy. They loaded it for me, drove it to the apartment, 1 floor up. That was it, 15 minutes. Those are the kind of deliveries I like. Yep, those are the ones I'm actually advertising for more. It's just the one item for 50 flat and the within like a 10-mile radius. So the most you're gonna go is like 10 miles. And if I go past the 10 miles, if I get into 15, 20 miles, then I'm gonna add a $20 travel charge on that. And if it's something that's really heavy and it's going up like 3 flights of stairs, I'll probably add another 20 on that. So your basic price for like a small couch, maybe a recliner chair, table, small table, dining table, chairs, those kind of deliveries for just probably either ground level or 1 flight up within 10 miles are going to be $50. And that's just with me. They're going to have to help. The customer's going to help. We'll have to add another person for those type of deliveries, and that's probably going to be like 125. But me personally, I like to just go out and do just a one-man delivery, not have to hire someone. Customer just helps. All they're looking for really is to get out of having to go rent a U-Haul. A lot of times when these people hire me, it's because their friend couldn't show up or their friend's pickup truck broke up, because around where I live there's a lot of pickup trucks, so most of the people they know somebody who can pick it up with a pickup truck. But not in all cases, because people, they have to work and they don't have time for that, especially on the weekdays. And then of course I'm doing junk removal now too, which I haven't gotten into enough to really comment on that yet, but most of it's just going to be these one small deliveries from like Costco, Fred Meyer, and some of these warehouses that are shipping furniture. Because what happens is they'll ship the furniture to the warehouse and then they'll give them a delivery date. Sometimes it's 2 weeks out, and usually it's way more money than what I'm charging. I don't know what they charge, but I'm guessing probably like 125, 225, somewhere around there. And really it's just convenience. They like to get their furniture. You don't want to wait 2 weeks. They don't want to wait a month. They want to get it today. So I'm ready. Last minute, like today, a guy called me. I was over there within an hour. I've had people call me and I'd be there within a half an hour. So you're not going to get that kind of service even from Amazon. So people do still look on Craigslist and those type of apps. I'm still looking for other apps to do that, like Thumbtack and Facebook, I think. And then I've tried Nextdoor. I can't figure out how to use that one to where it's working. But Craigslist I've always used. It always seems to work. It's just about that. And then now what I'm thinking about doing is getting my flyers and cards. And since I'm new to this area and going to all the stores, and going to the storage units really work for me more so than the stores. How it would work with the stores is, let me turn the air conditioning, kind of getting hot here. Oh, I think it's cooler there. Okay. When I would go to the stores and leave cards, if they didn't really know who I was, if they really hadn't seen me come in and out of there, a lot of times they wouldn't call me. But if I had gone in, say for a customer that hired me to go into the store to get something, and they saw how I worked with customers and all that, and I've had stores that, then I'll drop the cards off, and usually they'll already know who I am and they've seen me work. Then they'll call me and then they'll refer me because they want to see how the customer reacts and that. And then once I get more and more referrals, then they'll just pretty much put you on a contract. I've had what they call customer contracts, not contracts with the stores. I have been offered contracts with stores, and then instead I just did the customer contract, which would be a contract between a customer that's going to the store. So that always worked in that sense. So, but when I drop off cards and flyers to storage units, not all storage units respond. Some don't allow it because they, liability reasons. Others, They're pretty open about it. And in that case, I've gotten calls off storage units from cards or flyers, either way. But it's still, even then, I mean, I work on that too. That's just a partial thing because it seems to me like the Craigslist is the one that primes the pump. It gets people, even companies, to call me. I've had furniture companies call me and needing someone to deliver to a certain area that their driver wouldn't be able to do. So that works. I've had a chair company that did that, and that went on for years. I think it was their side contract for like several years until I moved. And then I had a lot of what I had good luck with a lot was furniture and it's like consignment stores. Those were really great because they didn't have a delivery. Most of them don't have delivery people, and the people that go in there, a lot of them don't have trucks. So that was a good one. Was consignment stores, and then other furniture stores that needed people for customers to go to certain areas that they weren't going to. Because some of the furniture stores or chair store in particular, their delivery guys only went to a certain radius, and I was able to go into another state. I was able to go to farther areas and do specialized deliveries for them, and that really helped. Unfortunately, I moved out of that area, and now I'm in a new town, and I don't know. I haven't really since the coronavirus, I haven't really marketed myself for a lot of stores. I'm just doing it this summer. Hopefully I'll have a lot of that by next summer. Right now I'm just doing Craigslist, so it's working so far. Slow. It's it's a gradual process. Sometimes I'm being lazy and I don't go to stores like I should and talk to people. So I think I'm gonna start motivating myself to do that, where I go out and talk to people. And I used to do that when I was younger more often than now. But that's something I'm going to work on doing, motivating myself to do that. But I'm still happy getting these small deliveries and just building the process of what I have to do and see where it takes me. Because I also, another thing that I used to do that was really good, and when I was in a bigger city, and I'm sure they have it here because they're selling a lot of houses out here. It may be a little late this summer, but with staging companies. I got lots of work from staging companies who I would go to their storage units, pick up their stuff, and help them bring their furniture for staging. And I got a lot of work from those people too. In fact, I had one staging company that wanted to hire me as an exclusive contract, but it wasn't something I didn't really. I don't know. I just didn't get along with them as well as I would think. Where other people, you know what I mean, it's a personal thing. So that's about it. I'm just sitting here in the parking lot, kind of waiting around. What I do sometimes after I do a delivery, I'll go to like a store. Like here, I'm in front of Lowe's. Sometimes I go to Home Depot or Costco, or I'll sit in a parking lot at like Best Buy or one of these places or nearby, and I have my truck wrapped with my number and all that. So if someone drives up and they're looking for maybe a delivery that day, and I've had that happen, and then I'll just negotiate with them and deliver that day. Especially like Home Depot, where their delivery, they have of course they got to book it out in 2 weeks or whatever. So if someone wants that day, then I'm right there. So that's another process I do. I always just sit in parking lots. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it's just something to do. I've thought about like finding a store that's really busy. Even Fred Meyer, they have really expensive delivery there. So I thought maybe parking it there and just leaving the truck there in the parking lot and then going home and then coming back. But I don't know if that's something I can do. But it's it's a nice day, so I'm just out here. What else? I'm looking at some trailers too. I possibly thought about doing something like that, where I'd pick up trailers and drop them off. I can tow about 10,000 pounds on the back of this, and drop off trailers where people can load them, and then pick up the trailer and drop to the next location, so I don't have to load. That's something I thought about, but I think I would have to get probably a DOT on that. Right now, my truck's lighter than 10,000 1 pound, so I don't need DOT. So lots of things to think about. Lots of opportunities. I just found an app today and I filled out all the stuff and got my background check for doing junk removal. I really don't like doing junk removal in this truck because it's a box truck. And I like to keep this truck clean, but because if I do, what I prefer to do as far as instead of junk removals, I like to do removal of like tree branches or brush, that kind of stuff, where I can just sweep it out. It's not like oil. There's not like stuff that's going to spill in the truck. So if I do junk removal, it's going to be just like removing a couch, removing sofa, furniture type, an old table or something like that. In fact, I've done those before in the past where a lot of that stuff was really good and I could resell it. Unfortunately, this company I'm going to be doing stuff for, they don't allow you to resell. You have to take it to a donation. But with my own independent contracts, I actually made a lot of money reselling what I got. I've had people give me entire storage units. In particular, I had one customer, she gave me, I think it was 2 storage units. So it was two or 3 truckloads, and then she kept calling me, and eventually I couldn't do it anymore, but they had so much stuff. And I think I must have filled half the warehouse with that. So, and then I would have garage sales in the summer with all this stuff. So in fact, when I do junk removal, I'm doing it where it's sofas. Sometimes you look at the sofa, it's just not worth it. A lot of places won't even take it for donation. But if it's a nice table and chairs, maybe a little scratched up, you can make money off that. I've had all kinds of stuff given to me, and I've missed out on a lot of opportunities where people were moving and they needed to get rid of their stuff immediately. And it was all nice stuff. I had a guy, he was going to give me a whole garage full of tools. I mean, like really nice tools, but I didn't have the truck at the time. I was driving around a small Kia doing labor, and I didn't have time to rent a truck. I've had people want to give me entire gym equipment, like an entire gym, want to get rid of their equipment. I don't know why, but so that's another whole side project that I could do that I'd like to get back into, but you have to have a pretty good sized storage unit. I used to have one that was like a 52 foot. It was longer than that. It was like basically it was a storage unit you could put a bus in, and I would fill up all kinds of stuff and sell it. And I like doing that. But here I don't have the storage facility. I have a small storage. I don't have any room, so if I get something, I have to turn it around really fast. But that's something to look into, because I really don't want to be a mover. I mean, I want to just do delivery and pick up and stuff. I mean, I'll pick up furniture and stuff like a mover would, but I don't really want to do moves. It's not something I want to do. I did that too much of that in the past, and you make good money, but I don't have a crew right now, and I really don't want to deal with a crew at this point. I wouldn't mind having one guy helping me out, but to get to a full crew where you're doing moving like 3 or 4 guys, I didn't like it. And I do like going out and working. I don't want to be a guy sitting in an office like with a clipboard and a computer. And some guys do that and they make a ton of money, but I really like going out and working, going out and actually doing the work, the physical work, even at my age, because it keeps me in shape. So I don't have to go to the gym. It feels satisfying. I don't really like sitting behind a computer, so I'm not going to do that. In fact, I had a friend of mine who was a mover for years, and he had at one point I think he had 4 or 5 trucks. He was running like 3 different states, and he told me, he's like, and he had moved on from that and got into technology and all that, so he sold his company. But he told me, he even at his peak when he had all those trucks and all that money he was making, he said he always remembered that the best times for his company was when it was just him and one other guy. He really said it was a headache with all those employees, and I remember that, and it is. So imagine having to do the W-2 and all the insurance, workman's comp insurance you have to pay, and keeping track of the employees and manage them. So I can see how just having one guy who's a good guy you can rely on, a partner, you can make good money, and you don't have to deal with, and then you can trust them and you build that kind of relationship. You don't have to deal with all that headaches. Now, some people, they like that. They like that kind of I don't know. They like to have all that stress and management, or they're better at it, I guess. So everyone's got a different idea of what they're gonna do. That's just not something I don't think I want to do. I wouldn't mind having a couple more trucks, and maybe another guy driving. But that's in the future. Right now, just working on the small. It's one at a time. Each one I do, I try to do the best I can, and have good customer skills. And and referrals have always been the best thing for these type of businesses is referrals. If you do a good job, they're going to refer you to your friends, family. I've had them where they refer off. It goes on and on for years. I still have people calling me from other cities the other cities I lived in. Years, I haven't lived there in years. They still call, so that's a good thing. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I think it's enough sitting in the parking lot. All right, thanks. Bye.